All right, middleweight superbike lining up. We've got the GoPro mounted. And we're off into the first turn. Amanda Mayhew still in the lead through turn 6 in the middleweight superbike class. Mayhew holding him off here, still in the lead. Onboard shot with Ignite. All right, we got Peter Tabor out front, David Purcell in second, Mark Harbor third, Neil Carlson fourth, Austin Carpenter in fifth, Brian Childrey in sixth, Amanda Mayhew in seventh, Steve Kazicki in eighth. Bringing up the back, Dana Wilson, Utah Sport Bike Association board member. As we watch them go down leading into their third lap, Tabor out front, gapping the field here in the middleweight superbike class. As we switch to the onboard camera, going into the last turn here, fixing to go down the straightaway. Onboard camera brought to you by Apex Track Days. So still out front, Peter Tabor, second, David Purcell, third, Austin Carpenter, fourth, Mark Harper in the middleweight superbike class. We're on lap 3 here. Purcell and Carpenter bar to bar here. Looks like Carpenter's made the move around Purcell. Tabor still out front, gapping the field. As you see our onboard camera here with Ignite, having some difficulties. We're going to switch back off. Still your running order out front. Peter Tabor, second. Austin Carpenter, third. David Purcell, fourth. Mark Harper, fifth. Brian Childry, sixth. Neil Carlson, seventh. Amanda Mayhew, eighth. Dana Wilson, and ninth. Steve Kazicki as they come off. Steve Kazicki bringing up the field here with our onboard camera, shooting down the straightaway. You're getting a rear view camera of what it feels like to blast down Miller Motorsports' front stretch on their east track. As Peter Tabor comes into the final turn here, going down the straightaway, we're going to be halfway through the middleweight superbike class. Still out front, Peter Tabor, second, Austin Carpenter, third, David Purcell, fourth, Mark Harper, fifth, Brian Childry. As we see Childry and Carlson come through the last turn. This middleweight superbike class is spread out. These guys are duking it out here on a chilly day in Tooele, Utah. But Peter Tabor is laying it down. Fastest lap we've seen so far of the day, of running a 1:38.8. To give folks an update, Dana Wilson and Amanda Mayhew with the whole shot leading through the first lap of this race are fighting it out near the back of the field now as this middleweight superbike class spreads out as we're getting toward 3/4 of the way through. As we see on board with Steve Kazicki leading the rear of the field here. Still Peter Tabor out front, still running a very, very consistent 1:38.8. As we see Tabor coming through here, the last turn going down the straightaway, still Austin Carpenter and David Purcell fighting it out for second place here. Carpenter's got a good 5 bike lengths and pulling down the front stretch. Coming through the last turn now, Mark Harper and Brian Childry. Harper with about the same gap, 5 bikes as they go down the front stretch. Neil Carlson in 6th, Amanda Mayhew and Dana Wilson still fighting it out for 7th and 8th. As we're back on board with Steve Kazicki. Wilson now around Mayhew as they come around the last turn here, going down the front stretch. Camera still on Peter Tabor, who is out front and gunning. As we're back on board with Steve Kaczynski as he comes around the final turn here, going down the front stretch. They call it the release because that's what you're doing. You're winding up and you're letting her go. Peter Tabor about to gap Steve Kaczynski here as we get the view of Tabor coming around release, going down straightaway. Carpenter and Purcell still fighting it out. They're closer than they were a lap ago, folks. Purcell's trying to load up and make a move. Harper and Childry coming around now, and they are all over each other. Less than a bike length between them. Childry's going to try to make the pass going down the straightaway. Loses a little bit as they get to the line here. We're going to try to make the move going into the first turn. As we see Tabor and Kaczynski coming through the attitudes now. Tabor out front, fixing to lap Kaczynski here as they come flying up into the Tooele turn. And it looks like Tabor has gotten around Kaczynski, lapping Kaczynski. Dana Wilson in front of Mayhew now, pulling on her as they go into the first turn. Peter Tabor coming into the clubhouse turn. Kaczynski coming around, leading the rear. Tabor having a fabulous day, dropping his laptops down. Best lap of the day so far, 138.3. Austin Carpenter still second, David Purcell third, Mark Harper fourth, Brian Childry fifth, Neil Carlson sixth, Dana Wilson seventh, Amanda Mayhew eighth, and Steve Kaczynski leading the rear of the field here. As we're getting a shot here, Dana Wilson still leading Amanda Mayhew as they come into the release, fixing to fly down the front stretch. Wilson in front by about 5 bike lengths, pulling on Mayhew. And that is a battle for 7th and 8th. Peter Tabor still out front. Backing off a little here as we're toward the tail end of this race. Still, quickest lap of the day we've seen so far with a 138.35. Steve Kaczynski here coming into the clubhouse turn. As we come around, that's the race. Didn't see a checker flag board. Doing our best to try to keep up here. 7 laps in. Your winner, Middleweight Superbike, Peter Tabor. Second, Austin Carpenter. Third, David Purcell. Fourth, Brian Childry. Fifth, Mark Harper. Sixth, Neil Carlson. Seventh, Dana Wilson. Eighth, Amanda Mayhew. And leading up the rear of the field, Steve Kaczynski with our onboard camera.